Alrighty, well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Happy spring. I think this is our first yoga class together since spring started, so that's always a fun time. Nice warm weather today and sunny day here in Connecticut, which is fantastic. So if we haven't met, my name is Melissa, and tonight I'll be guiding you through all levels yoga for 45 minutes. So just remember, listen to your body, take class at your own pace. And feel free to grab props if you'd like. I always like having blocks and blankets close by just to support the body and help us in the yoga practice. Let's get started by closing the eyes and finding a nice, comfortable seated position. And then just observing your connection to the earth. So we'll just notice where the body is touching the ground, edges of legs, edges of feet. And then grounding through the sitting bones, lengthening your spine, lengthening the back of the neck, reaching and stretching out through the crown of the head. And then dropping in, we will connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. And then lengthen your breath as you inhale, lengthen your breath as you exhale. And then maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then with each exhale, just feeling tension melting away from the mind and the body. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel your eyebrows relax. Each exhale takes you deeper and deeper into a relaxed state. Set an intention for our time together. So that could be to really focus on yourself and be present. Maybe clear the mind of thought. So there's really no right, there's no wrong. Let's start by taking our chin into our chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Maybe invite a little wiggle of the head to the right and to the left. Allow for your left ear to roll to the left shoulder. We'll just find a neck stretch here. We're going to come back to center, chin to chest, head releases to the opposite side. And release, we're going to float ourselves back to neutral and then taking that into some circles. So maybe find large, maybe find small circles here. And then as you circle, just noticing how the movement feels, observe your body in the moment. And then begin to flow in the other direction. Noticing if this is the natural movement pattern of your body, maybe it feels a little unnatural moving this way. Let's come to stillness, and we're just going to take those neck circles into the torso. Gently shifting the weight around from side to side. And then as you shift your weight to the right, maybe feel your left sitting bone, maybe feel your left leg lifting up and lifting off of the earth. Let's begin to flow in the other direction. And as you move here, this movement is so wonderful for your low back, getting into the mid, into the upper back, and also great for the sides of your body. So you just find a little bit of length and a little bit of space here on this one. Let's take it to stillness. We're going to make our way forward, coming into table. And as you come into table, feel free to grab a blanket if you wanted to add a little padding into your knees. We're going to take our knees, our hips in line, wrists and shoulders in line, and feel the fingers stand wide. So press through your index finger and press through your thumb. Right foot's going to take a big step up in between the hands and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So as you flow here, just make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. We just don't want our knee to be moving too far forward. So just take that knee and ankle stacked. Knee can be behind the ankle, but we just don't want that knee to float too far forward. Straighten your front leg. Let's come into a fold here. Allow for your spine to relax. Back of head, neck relaxes and releases. Bending into your front knee. Let's take those hips forward and down. We're going to come into a wonderful hip flexor and psoas stretch for the left side of your body. Do a little reset. Come back into table. Lower your stomach down. Lift up through your heart. And then tailbone will lower and the crown of the head will lower. And then flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let's relax our shoulders from the ears. Try to create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, rounding your back. Imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine, let's flip that left foot up in between the hands. We're going to bend and straighten our front leg. And then as you're moving here with the breath, just noticing if the stretch feels very similar on this side of your body to the first side of the body that we worked on. So it may feel very similar, and then it can also feel very different one side to the next side. Let's take a moment, straighten that front leg. We're gonna fold it forward for a moment. Bending into your front knee, hips come forward and down. And let's release. This time we're going to take it to a fold, right? So it's going to meet our left foot landing in a fold and then shake it out in your fold. Bend your knees and have your hands on blocks if you need that, if the ground is feeling really far away. Let's take our hands to the right. Find a side stretch here. Feel grounded evenly through both of your feet. We're going to come back to neutral and release those hands to the other side. Float yourself back into a fold. We're going to take a half lift here, lifting and lengthen your spine. Fold to the earth. Let's come on up, rise up. And hands at your heart space. Let's take a nice stretch for the spine. Hands are going to reach and stretch up. Fingers will interlock. Press your palms to the sky. Lengthen and release your hands to the right. Roll your left shoulder under, right shoulder rolling back. Feel that your heart is shining to the sky. Come back to neutral, realign and lengthen, and release to the other side. Feel your left hip pressing off to the left and just see if that helps you move a little deeper into the side stretch. We're going to come back to neutral, releasing your hands behind your body for a yoga mudra. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. Maybe imagine squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. Folding forward if you'd like. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into your shoulder stretch. Hands can relax onto your low back. Hands can float down to the ground. Right foot takes a step back. Let's come to runner's lunge. Right knee will lower. And hands are going to reach and stretch to the sky as you inhale. We're going to come into knee down warrior, Anjaneyasana. So let's breathe here. We're going to try to feel those hips floating forward. Get that nice hip flexor and psoas stretch. Coming to a three-legged dog. So we're just going to squeeze that left leg right on up to the sky. And then take your left knee to your left tricep. We'll do a little tap. Send it up and back. Knee to nose, round. Up and back. Let's take that left knee to right tricep. Up and back. And then reset to down dog when you are ready. Let's take our right leg to the sky. Float it up. And then we're just going to take it forward to runner's lunge. Left knee will lower. Let's take our hands back to the sky. Anjaneyasana on the other side. Relaxing your shoulders from your ears. Create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Hands float down. Runner's lunge to find your forward fold. Half lift here. Fold to the earth. Let's come on up. Rise for mountain. Hands at the heart space. Hands sweep up. Breathe. Fold it forward. Take your half lift. Plant your hands and left foot floats back. Left knee will lower. Hands reach to the sky as you inhale. Arms frame the ears. Fingers are active. Reach and stretch out through your fingertips. Hands to the earth. Let's come to that three-legged dog. Right leg reaches and stretches to the sky. Take your left knee, or your right knee rather, right knee to right tricep. Three-legged dog. Knee to nose. Three-legged dog. Float it up and back. Let's take it right onto the opposite side. And then we're going to do a little reset back to down dog. Left leg floats up, three-limbed dog. Float your left foot forward. Right knee will lower. Hands reach up. Breathe in. Core engages here. Feel the tailbone tuck. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. Hands are going to come down. Right foot steps forward. Takes your fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Mountain as you inhale. Hands at heart as you exhale. Hands reach up. Breathe and fold. Take your half lift. Plant your hands. Let's take it to plank this time. We'll try high push-up pose. And then as you find plank, lower down chaturanga. We're going to take an up dog here. So use your breath. Breathe into your back bend. Press back to down dog. Breathe out. Come on forward. We're going to land back in that fold. Halfway lift. And release. Let's come on up. Rising. Hands at the heart space. Let's take another sun salutation A to warm the body up. Hands reach up. Fold it forward. Take your half lift. Plant your hands. Find your way to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Take your up dog here. Open the chest and open up the heart. Down dog. Breathe out. Come on forward. Let's come back into our fold. Halfway lift. Release. Come on up for mountain pose. Hands at the heart space and breathe out. Let's lift that right leg up. We're going to try a crane pose. We'll come into Baddha-Konasana. So balancing, find your drishti. Find that one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. From here, we're going to come to a Shiva Squats. You're just going to take your right foot to the left. We'll create a diagonal. And you can decide where you want to go with this one. If you want it to be a little easier, legs can straighten. You can have a little bend, a deeper bend. Maybe that knee's going to come down. Palms are going to face up. Index and thumb will touch, coming into a mudra. Core engages. And let's come back and up. Landing in crane. And release. Rising up. Let's come back. We're going to reset back into crane. And then from crane, let's come into Crescent Warrior. So we'll just take our right foot back. Right heel is lifted and hands are going to reach and stretch to the sky as we breathe in. Feel that right leg is super active. Press firmly through your heel, through the back of your knee. Feel your leg active and energized. Let's release it. We're going to float ourselves to a runner's lunge. Lifting that left hand up, let's take a runner's twist. And as you take twist, with your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. On your out-breath, let your twist deepen. From here, let's transition to side plank. So we're just gonna do a little inching on the feet. Feel your front foot meet your back foot. And know that you can modify here. Bottom leg comes down for less, top leg lifts for more, and you can also come down onto your forearm. Releasing, let's come back into plank. High push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. We're gonna come to an upward facing dog. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Down dog, breathe out. Float it forward. Let's come back into our hold. Half lift, release, come on up, rise, and hands at the heart space. Let's try that on the other side. So we're gonna come into crane to start. Last leg lifts this time. Feel really grounded through all the parts of your right foot. So we're gonna press firmly through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency. If you tend to roll in, maybe tend to roll out. Let's come on back. We're gonna try those Shiva Squats. And then this time, let's bring our hands together at prayer at the heart space. Grounding down to rise on up. Let's come back, resetting into crane, and we're gonna float ourselves back for Crescent Warrior. Maybe do a little scan here. Notice where you're holding tension. And then with each exhale, try to let that tension go. Hands lower down. Let's take a runner's lunge. Right hand to the sky. Let's come into a twist. And then as you're twisting here, feel the spine open, shoulders stack and open. Transition to side plank from here. We're gonna roll onto the outer edge of our bottom foot. You can stack the insides of the feet together, lifting that top hip up. There's so many options with the top arm as well. You can just find what feels really supportive and nice in your own shoulder. Let's come into plank. We're gonna hold that high push-up pose. Full breath in and out. Lower down, chaturanga. Let's take up dog here. Breathe into your back bend through the three parts of your back. And then we're gonna find our way to down dog when you're ready. Knees begin to soften. We'll come into a child's pose. Knees can be together, helping to open up your low back. Maybe big toes touch. Knees away from one another, giving that great leg and hip stretch. And then we're just gonna let ourselves melt into the pose here. So maybe little micro movements just to really align your body. Let's come to down dog when you're ready. And then as we work with down dog, we're gonna come into a flip dog. For flip dog, take your right leg up to the sky. We're gonna bend the knee. We'll stack and open through the hip. And then you can just flip your right foot off to the left side of the yoga mat. So you're just gonna flip it over. Spin on your feet so that your feet are planted, knees are bent, hips are lifting up. Hand is reaching up and overhead. Feel those hips lift up to get that nice back bend. Shift a little bit on your hands and feet. Three-limbed dog. And then bring your foot through. We're gonna take warrior one pose. As you ground in warrior one, have that deep bend in your front knee. Feel your back heel grounded and planted. Breathe into your leg stretch. Let's reach for opposite elbows behind your body. So we're just going to take right hand for left elbow, left hand for right elbow. And then almost create the sensation of squaring your hips forward. So we're just going to encourage that left hip forward, left shoulder forward, right shoulder back, right hip back. Coming into warrior two from here. And then relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Create that space between your ears and shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. Reverse, we're going to float the front hand up and float it back. Back hand can glide down your back leg. You may want to wrap the arm around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease and take a half bind. Come back into warrior two. Transition into a lateral angle. And then maybe extended lateral angle if you'd like to go there. Hand can lower down. And then just trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder. Try to create a little lifting here, a little bit of lengthening here. And core engages. Float back on up, find warrior two. And let's work a little bit with pyramid. So for pyramid, left foot's going to take a big hop forward. Have your left toes turned up the yoga mat. Square hips and shoulders forward. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. Hands reach and stretch up. And we're going to let ourselves fold down when you're ready. Maybe play with the weight in the feet. You could always bring more weight into that front foot, helping to lift that hip up, helping to balance off the hips and the low back. Let's lift the right hand up. We're going to take a twist here. So feel free to grab your block, pyramid twist. It can help if you have a little bit of support here, just helping you move a little deeper into your stretch. We're going to lift that left leg up, finding a revolve, balancing half moon pose. So you're going to be twisted off to the right side of the room. Try to feel your core working. Invite more challenge for your body. Try to lift your leg up a little bit higher. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Let your twist deepen as you exhale. We're going to gently unwrap our pose, standing split. And open into warrior two pose. As you align here in warrior two, let's imagine that we could pull our feet in towards one another. So legs are super active. Windmill the hands to the earth. Float yourself to lunge. Landing with our legs crossed in a fold. So we're going to float our left foot to the upper right edge of the yoga mat. And then we're just going to take a moment to line our toes up. Line our heels up and fold over the fronts of the legs as you breathe out. Sending the weight forward into the toes so heels are a little lighter. And just breathing here. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's begin to unwrap our legs. We're going to float ourselves into plank. So left foot floats back to plank, right foot floats back into plank. As you find plank, really engage your core. Gaze down to the hands. Fan the fingers wide. Let's lower it down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Take your up dog here. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And press down for down dog when you're ready. Left leg to the sky. We're going to bend the knees, stack, open through your hips. Coming into flip dog from here. Send those hips up. Full breath in and full breath out. Shifting on hands and feet. Flip yourself around. Three-legged dog. Come on through. Warrior one pose. As you ground here, let's connect with our breath. Breathe into the stomach, ribs, and chest. And then release from your chest, ribs, and stomach. Hands behind your body. Reach for opposite elbows. Shoulder blades move in towards one another. Heart opens. Releasing. Let's take warrior two when you're ready. Hands reach and stretch in the opposite direction. Left hand reaches, stretches forward. Right hand reaches and stretches back. Let's take reverse. Front hand up and back. Breathing here. Let's expand the lungs. Expand through the wrist. Come on through. Warrior two. Let's take it down to that lateral angle. And you can always work with extended lateral angle if you'd like to go there. Almost create a little bit of a twisting sensation here. We want to roll that top shoulder back, bottom shoulder under, and same thing through your hips. And come back on through. Let's rise on up for warrior two pose. Working with pyramid, we can release arms and legs. Right foot takes that float forward. Right toes turned up the yoga mat. Lengthen your spine. Hinge at the hips. We're going to fold on down, landing in pyramid. Deepen your stretch if you'd like. You can draw more weight into your front foot. That's just going to help to lift that front hip up a bit. Balancing your hips and your low back. And then you can also draw your right hip forward, pull your left hip back a tiny bit, and then just feel how you can change up the weight in your feet. Ground firmly into the right hand. Left hand to the sky when you're ready. Let's take our twist. So as you take pyramid twist, try to feel your shoulders stack and open. We want to feel our shoulders in line, wrists in line. Lifting up that right leg when you're ready. Let's try that revolve. Balancing half moon pose. Try to lift that leg as high as you can lift it. You may have to roll the right hip down a little bit. Maybe imagine that you could balance the block on your low back. We're going to gently release ourselves to standing split. Find your way to warrior two. Ground firmly through your feet. Maybe imagine that you could draw them in towards one another. And then as you activate your feet, really feel how the spine lengthens. Back of neck lengthens, reach and stretch through crown of head. We're going to windmill hands down. Let's float ourselves to a lunge. And then as you take your lunge, let's land in a fold with our legs crossed. So right foot going to step to the outside of your left foot. So right foot hops to the upper left edge of your yoga mat. Line your toes up, line your heels up, and fold over the fronts of the legs as you breathe out. Let's take that right foot back for a plank. Left foot flows back to meet it. As you find plank, lower down chaturanga. We're going to take our up dog here. Open the chest and open up your heart. Let's come to down dog when you're ready. Float it back. Knees begin to lower. And we're just going to do a little standing on the knees for a moment. Working with a back bend. Toes will curl under. Sit back here. Feel the core engage. And support your low back. We're just going to send those hips forward for a moment. Breathing here. If you would like more of a stretch, reach back for one heel. You can reach back for the other heel. And then we're just going to send our hips forward. You can look down the front body. You can also relax your head back. And if you would like more of a stretch, keep the tops of your feet on the mat. And then reach back for one foot and the other foot. Hips are going to come forward. Breathing here. Full breath in. Full breath out. Let's come to a neutral spine. Coming up, we can do a little gentle support to our low back. Let your tailbone tuck. Lengthen and breathe. Coming down to seated, we can take our sitting bones down. Sweep your feet to the right or to the left. Legs are going to extend out in front. We'll take a seated fold. So we'll try to take our feet out as wide as we can get them. And it can be tricky to get them out, so you can always kind of heel toe them out a little bit. You can use your hands. And feel free to grab that blanket to sit right on the edge of it just to help roll the pelvis forward a little bit. Lengthen your spine. Let's fold down for a moment. Feel free to create some movement here. Sometimes a little shifting around from side to side can just help you move a little deeper into the stretch, kind of help to get into the sides of your body a bit more. Let's come into stillness here. We're gonna walk those hands up, side stretch. So right arm onto right leg and left arm up and over. Roll that left shoulder back, right shoulder under, so that the heart is shining to the sky. Core engages, come on up. Left hand down, right hand lift, breathe. Rolling that top shoulder back, bottom shoulder under. And then realign. We're going to come back to neutral. Sweep your feet together. You can give a little shake out of the legs. And let's come onto our back. We'll work with a really nice hip opener. So as you come down onto your back, let's take our leg up and over, and we're going to create a figure four stretch. So we'll take our right leg up and over to start. Finding figure four here. So there's a couple of options. You may want to keep your foot on the ground. You may want to reach for the back of your left leg. You can reach for the front of your left leg. And then there's also a variation where you reach both of the arms around both of the legs. Let your eyes close. Maybe invite a gentle rocking side to side. Sometimes movement can help you move deeper into your stretch. Feel the eyebrows. Feel the jaw relax and release. Try to let go of tension through the back of the head and the back of the neck. And try to relax the shoulders, arms, and hands. And then also relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. And then try to relax your legs and relax your feet. If you'd like, you could flex your foot or your feet. And you could also encourage your right knee away from the face. That will just help to activate some different muscles in your body and to keep the body working a little bit more. Let's change up the legs. First, we're going to take happy baby. Reach for your feet. Flex your feet. Reach through your heels. Rock side to side. Maybe find stillness here. Let's come into stillness. We're going to take our left leg up and over. Create figure four stretch here. Reach for the back of your leg, front of your leg, both of the arms around both of the legs, and then option to find stillness or find that movement. Again, you can flex your foot or your feet. You could encourage your left knee away from the face just to activate some different muscles in your body. And this can help to, the stretch is really wonderful for your low back, for your hips, and for your legs. And then just feeling the eyes closing and feel yourself breathing for a moment. Breathe into the stomach, feel the navel rise, feel the navel fall. And then breathing into the stomach, Carry the breath into the ribs. On the inhalation, feel the ribs expanding with breath. We expand through the front body, through the back body, through the right side and the left side of the body. And then with your exhale, feel how the ribs gently flow in towards one another. Front ribs, back ribs come in, right side, left side ribs come in. And then breathe into the stomach, ribs, and chest. Feel the chest rise on the in-breath and feel the chest fall on the out-breath. Unwrap your legs. Let's come back to that happy baby stretch. Flexing the feet, reaching through heels, maybe a little rock side to side. Knees come up and into the chest. We'll give them a little hug in and coming into bridge. So for bridge, bring your feet in line with your hips. Knees will be bent. Feel your core engage. We'll create a little sensation of tucking our tailbone to help ground into our mid-back. And then feel your low back lift from the mat. And we're going to feel our spine lifting up here. Maybe imagine that you could squeeze a beach ball between the knees. So legs are really active. Maybe lift your 10 toes off of the mat to feel that nice grounding through all the parts of your feet. And if you wanted more of a stretch here, you can take your hands together underneath your body, fingers interlock, palms touch. Maybe imagine squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades and breathing here. Feel that strengthening for your low back, mid back, and upper back. Feel the strengthening in the glutes, in the backs of your legs and your quads. Intensify the stretch. Let's lift those hips a bit higher up. And releasing, hands release, tailbone tuck. Upper, mid, and low back connect to the mat. We're going to take the soles of the feet to touch. Knees come away from one another and coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. We'll come into a bound ankle. If you'd like, bring one hand to the heart, one to the navel. Close the eyes for a moment. Reconnect here to your breath in your body. Feel yourself breathing one breath at a time. And remembering each time that you breathe, you bring life, you bring oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. And then with the help of the hands, let's take those knees together. We're going to just take them right up and into the chest. We'll do a little rock to the right and off to the left. And let's take that rocking side to side into circles. So maybe large circles, maybe smaller circles here. And releasing, let's come into Shavasana. We'll come to our resting pose of our practice. So if you'd like to take any final stretch or movement, you can do that. And if you need to grab any props to support you, you can grab those as well. And we're just going to take a little time for ourselves. They say that this final resting pose of the practice is the most important pose of the whole practice. That this is the time where our body is still and we're able to reap all of the benefits, the circulation, the blood flow just returns to normal. And after all of that twisting and turning and back bending, just to get this natural flow through our whole entire body. Letting your breath deepen. Inviting subtle movements, maybe a circling of the wrist, maybe a circling of the ankle. Find your way to your side. We're going to come into fetal. You may want to create a little pillow with your lower arm to support your head and just feel your body taking the shape of the posture. Coming on up when you're ready, let's make our way into seated. And as you come into seated, maybe bringing your hands at heart space into prayer, into Anjali Mudra. Thank yourself for practicing yoga this evening, for doing something so good for your mind, body, and spirit. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.